Hello and welcome to our multi-part series on the home buying experience brought to you by the Mattox Group. We're going to break this seminar up into a number of sections to highlight the key things that you need to know about the opportunities, the challenges, the overall experience, and some of the pitfalls to be aware of if you're buying your first home or looking to buy a new home. As a breakdown of a seminar we provide with our trusted housing team throughout the Central Coast here of California. I am Jay Fagan, the founder and CEO of the Mattox Group and your host for this presentation. Born and raised in the Show Me State of Missouri, I have been in business here on the Central Coast of California for nearly 20 years. My lovely wife and our two children are proud to call California home, in particular the beautiful Monterey Bay. We're privileged to live here, and we enjoy serving clients throughout the state of California and across the country. We are driven to empower transformative growth for our outstanding clients and to deliver exceptional services to all those that we work with. I know personally and professionally that our clients, families, individuals, professionals, small businesses, and nonprofit organizations throughout California, when they are paired with trusted advisors who can walk with them along their journey throughout each year, they are going to perform at orders of magnitude greater than their peers. And that's the kind of service we deliver here at the Mattox Group, and we demand of those that we work with and encourage as advisors for our clients. And speaking of those advisors, if you don't have trusted advisors in your corner, we're always accepting great new qualified clients for the Mattox Group. And on our webpage, themattoxgroup.com, we have a TMG endorsed provider section that has a breakdown of the various categories that most of our clients need for services or even a great place to eat throughout their life. In particular, finance and legal, and dining, realtors, personal services, household services, pest inspections, contractors. And when it comes time to giving, one of the three things you can do with money: spend, save, and give. Charities that we've worked with, that we know personally and trust. So check out themattoxgroup.com, navigate to our endorsed providers list, and you will find the contact information and more information there for all of the really quality people that you need in your life to navigate not only the home buying experience, but your overall financial journey and your legacy building. So let's get stuck into our presentation. We're going to cover the opportunity, the budget, what's necessary to buy a house, how much house should you buy. We're going to cover the key benefits as well as obstacles to successful homeownership, and how smart homeownership will transform your future and build generational wealth. In our first session, session one, we're going to talk about the opportunity, the background of finance and home buying, key things that you need to be made aware of. Welcome to the TikTok Finance Hour, where debt is power, cash ain't bling, and the over-leveraged, unsubstantiated tax deduction reigns supreme. Bet. Social media, the local diner, and every armchair expert has a proven method to get rich quick. Pay us $5.99 for our video series, $10.99 a month for our subscriber feed, or $99 a month for our patron exclusives. Come to our seminar for $3,000 and introduce us to 10 broke folks like you, and we're going to tell you the secret. You see, every expert has a plan, a scheme, a surefire algorithm, and they all involve moving your hard-earned money from your pocket right into theirs. Greatest lie that the devil has sold us is that you can live the American dream today for just a few easy monthly payments. We sell this dream to children from grade school. Get the best degree from the best school and don't worry about the cost. We'll give you the money and the job will be there waiting for you. We are addicted to buying now and paying later. And unlike Congress, we're the only ones who have to worry about the debt collectors. Debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. If you follow finance podcasts, you've probably heard of Dave Ramsey, and you know that jingle. And as any wise, bald man can tell you, the keys to success are simple. Using them to open the right doors, now, that's the hard part. You see, an intentional life, free from soul-crushing debt and passionately engaged in a purpose-driven career, family, and community, that doesn't require American Express, just effort. The wealthiest folks I know and work with, they share a common theme. It isn't their race, it isn't their culture, it's not their education, It's not even their family history or their connections. Nothing else about them rings true, and nothing that anyone is selling them is consistent. The one common denominator, the one thing that they all have, they just won't quit. It's not that they love winning. It's not that they are just naturally successful, or like a natural born athlete, just it's born easy to them. That's not the case. They absolutely hate, loathe, despise, and abominate losing. These aren't folks who've never lost a job. They simply never considered that unemployment was acceptable. These aren't folks who've never been in debt, or never made a bad decision, or never acted foolishly. They simply never stopped doing one thing every single day to make tomorrow better. The reality is this: we are meant to be a social species. However, our lives are our own, and while we must participate in our communities to fully embrace this life, we must not be defined by them. Our success, or lack thereof, is not negated by that of those we observe around us. We need to seek balance in all things and avoid regret and recrimination after we've made our choices. The goal here is to tell your money what to do. Be purposeful in that process and make decisions that answer, what will this do for me and my goals, and not, how will this make others think of me? Be objective in your goals and your measurements. Just because your neighbor looks successful doesn't mean that they are. I always say, whenever I get anybody who says to me, oh, my buddy told me about this tax strategy or this tax thing, I always say, well, show me the tax returns. Are they really as successful as they profess to be? And is that success actually successful by your own definition? In all things, consider who benefits. If the answer isn't you, question the intention. Seek out advisors with the hearts of teachers and the courage to stand by their advice. Owning your own home is investing in you and your future. No landlords to change the rules or raise the rent. Complete control over how you live, where you live, and with whom. Most importantly, homeownership represents a historically steady, reliable, and dependable rate of return on your investment. Provides future tax-free capital gains, and the surety that if you can make it here, and by here, while I do mean the United States, in particular here in California dirt, you're going to make it anywhere. Owning your home isn't for everyone. And everyone who owns a home isn't magically successful. What do I mean by it isn't for everyone? My wife and I bought our second home, our first home, in September of 2008. 2 weeks later, the banks collapsed. We were terrified. Our bank ceased to exist. This was the Great Recession. Fast forward 12 years, we sell, we get a good rate of return, tax-free capital gains. In the end, that all worked out, and we bought our next home, our current home. And we closed on April 1st, 2020, 2 weeks in to the great pandemic, the global pandemic. Once again, our timing in real estate isn't necessarily the best, but now we fast forward here to 25, and home prices over the last 5 years in our region and across the country, but certainly in our region, skyrocketed. Some cases over 50, 60%. There's been some adjustments recently from the irrational exuberance, if you will, and changes in remote work and all of that. But simultaneously, interest rates have stabilized to historically normal interest rates. Our first interest rate was 6.5%. Our interest rate on our home in 2020, 2.25%. We were one of the folks that benefited from that. A privilege, to be sure, but that was the way things were. We didn't know what was going to happen. We took advantage of what we could, and we rode with it. Now, if you look at a home in our neighborhood, fast forward 5 years, prices are up, 35, 40, 45%, and interest rates are more than double, some cases triple what they were for well-qualified buyers. The home next door to me, which has been a rental for years, the owner bought it back in 2012, rents for anywhere from a third to half of what a mortgage would be today on the same size home. And so if you're not in a position where paying that amount of money to acquire a home makes financial sense for you, you shouldn't buy a home. That's what I mean by buying a home isn't for everyone. Renting a good quality, stable home in a nice environment for a quality and affordable price is a great deal. And rentership should be praised, and it's nothing to feel bad about, nothing to diminish. When you have the financial wherewithal to own a home, you put together a plan to do it, it makes a lot of sense, and we highly encourage it. Now, when you make that choice, though, of course, you want to own a smart home. We define a smart buy as a sustainable purchase. Financially, it works for you and your family, regardless of what might happen in your life. You can stay in that home. We don't ever want to encourage a return to the Great Recession era, where we saw, birthday clowns having multiple mortgages. I mean, that was funny money and should never ever be what we try to do again. So a sustainable purchase, a marketable property. This doesn't have to be the Taj Mahal, but it does have to be a property, ideally in a place, in a neighborhood that is a good, solid neighborhood, or an up and coming neighborhood, or just good quality folk, where you know that that property is going to sell down the road for a reasonable rate of return. You know that you live in a safe environment. That's a great marketable property. It's also a property you can feel comfortable investing in without over improving for the neighborhood. You want this home ideally to achieve your needs and desires. Important to note, particularly for first-time home buyers, this isn't likely going to be your forever home. This is going to be a home for 5, 10, 15 years. So it doesn't have to check all of the boxes. And certainly there's room for prudent improvements, but it should check enough that you can sustainably remain in the home for the foreseeable future and not outgrow it too quickly, or not, for perhaps folks that are maybe facing an empty nest, not buy too much home now and then not need it later. It needs to be a reasonable investment. Real estate, you make the money in the buy. Obviously, we've had, particularly in California, exponential growth in properties for a number of years, but historically, 3 to 7% in real estate year over year is normal. So reasonable investment. Don't overpay. Don't let emotion get in the way of making a good financial choice. And again, build a trustworthy team to support you, from your property inspector to your loan and mortgage broker, your title company, your realtors, your contractors across the board. Have a team that puts you first and is looking to achieve your goals and not just put money in their pocket. So to recap, the home buying opportunity is still real. It's still valid. Dirt today is never going to be cheaper tomorrow than what it is today. If you're in a position to make a good home purchase, your first time home or another, now is the time to do it. Historically, normalized interest rates have returned. We don't expect significant changes in that for the foreseeable future. Properties in a variety of areas are starting to stabilize. So again, if it makes sense for you to buy a home, today's the time to buy a home. Look forward to part 2 as we discuss how much home you can buy and what to pay attention to in that process.